Hi, this is Pat Smage. I'm a 9-time AMA National Moto Trials champion, and I also like to ride bikes. I've been testing the Manitou Mastodon fork for a couple weeks now, and this is what I think. My local trails are typical Midwestern single track, full of short climbs and fun descents. They are perfect for a hardtail, but I've been searching for a suspension fork that suits my style and fits a fat bike. On the trail, the Mastodon feels like a normal high-end mountain bike fork. It's not limited because of its width. With great damping and rebound to match, it adds a lot of comfort to the ride. I actually had to raise my tire pressure because I felt more comfortable hitting turns, logs, and rocks harder and faster than before. Although it's not the lightest fork available, it makes up for it in performance. The weight did not bother me when climbing, and my bike still feels light and flickable, even with the big tires. Steering is very direct and almost feels as precise as a rigid when dodging trees. I really like how there's no harsh topping out when the fork extends. This makes a much smoother transition anytime the front wheel comes off the ground. I started with a standard setup and the recommended pressure to see how the fork would perform. Fully expecting to have to raise pressure near the max, I was surprised to leave it alone the entire time. I am always looking for obstacles to hit on the side of the trail. This is when a standard setup tends to struggle, but the progressive feel of the Mastodon give great pop to get over rocks and logs. The fork settles nice and smooth, which makes holding balance after drops just a bit easier. It can also handle some pretty big drops without bottoming out. It is very plush on top of the stroke for small bumps, and progressively ramps up stiffer to soak up bigger hits. I try to have as much fun as possible on the trail. The fast reacting Rebound made popping the front end up for manuals much easier. I found myself having more fun than ever on trails I've ridden many times. You typically need a very stiff fork for hitting jumps. I was happy not to feel any harsh bottoming out on takeoff or landing. Bicycle trials is usually done on a rigid fork. The Mastodon combined with 4-inch tires provided a very solid feel and quick rebound, allowing me to ride technical lines easier than with other forks. Nose wheelies are a great way to test front end flex. With all the weight and stress being put on the front wheel, you can usually see and feel if the front end is solid. While there is some flex in this case with the Mastodon, it is hardly noticeable and far better than most other fat bike forks. Even with the fork slowly compressing down into its travel, I was able to get plenty of pop off the front tire to spin the bike around. Overall, I feel like the Manitou Mastodon suits my style better than any other fat bike fork I've tried. I'm looking forward to dialing it in even further and seeing if I can get it to work even better than it does out of the box.